Okay, so what we're going to be doing in the Venom workshop today is we're going to be doing, we're going to change the handlebars on a set of Grizzly, or on a Grizzly here. So if we come take a look, it's not terribly hard to do. It'll take a little while to do it, but I mean, it's all nice, easy tools. Um, and it's just pretty well easy. So let's get started. All we're going to need is a 10 mil socket to take off our handlebars. We're not going to take off our handlebars just yet though. We want to remove our brakes, our switches first, and get our hand grips off while it's still mounted. Because these hand grips are a little bit of a pain in the butt sometimes, but we'll work it off, and I'll show you how to get them off too. And we'll start on, it doesn't really make a difference which side you start on, but you're not going to need anything too crazy. An 8 mil socket. So let's get that first. Okay. Just pull the two nuts off of that, or the two bolts, sorry, and then just put it right back on the switch, or on the brakes. Just put your two bolts in. When you put your bolts in, don't have to tighten them all the way, just a little bit like that. Then we're going to need a Phillips screwdriver to take the switch off. And there's going to be two screws on that, one in the back and one in the front right here. Huh. Okay. I'll pick that up. Okay. And there's another one in the front. Okay, and this is just a clamshell, so it comes apart like that, and that's it. Now on this handlebar, there's a hole on the bottom. That hole is to mount the switch when we put it back on. There's a little divot right here, and it fits inside that hole at the bottom, so that's what holds that switch in place. So I'm going to just put my switch back together for now. Put my two screws back in it. That way I won't lose them screws. There we go. Now we'll just put this off to the side like that. And then we can do the other side. And the other side is basically the same, just a little bit different setup. So this has to come off. This is a kill switch. And the throttle has to come off. But when we take the throttle off, we're just going to move it first. Because it slides off the end here. I'll show you what I mean. So we can loosen it off with our 8 mil. Just so you can move it. Now this kill switch is just a Phillips screwdriver. That I don't want to take the whole switch apart because you don't have to. All you have to do is just loosen it off. There we go. And we can move it back and forth like that, and we'll take it off the same way we take the throttle off. Now, taking off these grips can be a pain in the butt sometimes. So what I do is I make sure it twists first, easily. If it doesn't twist, then you're looking at a little bit of harder issue. But if it twists fairly easy, it's tight, but it twists, then you know it's going to come off fairly easy. All you have to do is put your thumb and your finger against it like that. And as you're taking it off, twist it, and it'll come. There we go. So we got it off. Now you'll see that the throttle and that kill switch both move, and we're going to take them off, but not yet. We want to go over and take off that other hand grip first. And it's the same. You're going to want to twist while you're taking it off, like this. Just back and forth. There we go. Okay, so we got that off. Put that on. Okay, now we can get our 10 mil. Now we can take off our handlebars. Like that. That. Okay, now we're just going to slip the throttle off and just move the handlebars that way, and everything will slip off. Even the kill switch will slip off, and then you got your handlebars off like that. And then it's the same to put it back on. We're going to do the exact same thing, same process as we did to take it off. Now I'm just going to give this a wipe, might as well, while it's off. There we go. Now, it's going to be, like I said, the exact same as putting it, or when you took it off. So you're going to want to start with your kill switch first. Slide it on your new handlebars. Slide the throttle on, like that. And then you can let it go on. We can get our bases here. Then we get the top part. Get our bolts started. There we go. Okay. All right, so now we got our handlebars back on, and we want to put on all of our other stuff. But now when I do this, the easiest way on this side to do it is to take your switch and go ahead and put it on first. It's a lot easier to match this little tab up with this hole when there's nothing else around it. So that's what we're going to do first. Okay, take this screw right up. Okay, now we just have to feel where our hole is, and then you'll feel it go up. Once it goes up, just put your clamshell back together like that. Tighten in one of your screws. Okay. Okay. Now, even though it's not tight, it still won't move because that tab is in that hole. Sometimes you'll notice that yours moves. If it does move, maybe that tab broke off, and it's not that big a deal if it does. All you have to do is take this clamshell switch apart and put a little tiny self-tapping screw into the plastic, and that will fit in the hole instead. So now it's perfect. It's not going to move when I hit the start button or the horn, and that's what you want. So now when they make these hand grips, if you notice, that hole is made to match right against there. So that's why I went ahead and put that switch on too, because it tells me how far this handle goes on, because it goes on right to that switch, just like that. And now we can go ahead and put our brake on. And on the bracket for the brakes, there's a little up sign. So you just put it on like that. Just like that. And if you notice, I'm holding it exactly level. I want it to be as level as possible, and I don't want to let it go while it is, and not tight, because I don't want it to move. Because that's the way your brake handles should be setting. They shouldn't be setting down like that or up like that. It should be setting level so that your master cylinder there is level. There we go. That's all good. Now let's go to the other side. There we go. And our throttle is going to be the same. But what we're going to do is you put your hand grip on first. Oops. Get a better view here. Get your hand grip on first. Like that. And then just let your throttle come back to your handle. And again, your throttle is the same as your brake. You want this to be level. And that'll put the throttle exactly where you want it. And you can lean your handlebars forward or backward, that's all right, but you still want this to be level. You don't want these handles up and all over the place. So remember that when you're installing it. Now we have our kill switch. We just have to tighten that up with our Phillips screwdriver. Just like that. There we go. Then we're gonna just take my little switch, put that back on there, and that's it. And that right there, guys, is how you change the handlebars on a Grizzly. If you have any questions or concerns, definitely reach out. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video.